friends, hi everybody. Okay, today is day 50 and okay, so April I spent weeding out. You can see I weeded out down to those little itty bitties. Now these little itty bitties, they're taking their little time to come up. And then we've got the time again, so they're taking their little time to come up, but that's okay. And you can see I weeded them out nicely. Those chives are doing just fantastic. This pot, we're growing, we're recovering, but we've got a little isolation from the other stuff so it doesn't spread. There's the marigolds coming up. Okay, this is what I want you to see. This is day 50. Day 50 of the garden. And we have got cucumber flowers. Now, I am not so sure the bees, the silly bees have been paying attention to those two pots over there. And I think they found a water source out of the mint. Mint likes drippy water, so what I have, just in case my bees have not, well, they're not my bees, but the bees around here have not come to these flowers, then I have a little itty bitty brush. This worked last season, and I just take it and I go in there just like, there we go. And now I go find another flower and I go over to it. There we go. So we want to have cucumbers. So there we go. You can see, I don't know if you can see that little bit of pollen that I have on the brush. There's a little, but on the end there's just a little bit of pollen. There we go. So we'll go in and get that pollen. And we're going to go to each flower just like a bee would. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. And yes, I can see, I don't know if you can, but I can see an itty bitty bit of pollen on the end of that. So we'll do each of those flowers just like that. I'll put some bug band on. I'm going to pause. And I'm going to go put some bug band. You'll see the bees come. So, but first, before I do that, I want to show you, look. Day 50, and we have pole beans. So, I need to figure out if I'm going to leave them on dry or pick them green and eat them. So, that one, see, the peas can be seen. That one looks pretty ready. So I'm very excited. Those are getting nice and tall, and they already have beans on it on day 50. Now, even down here, even the ones that didn't get the beautiful soil, they do have beans on them. They're a little stringy. And thank you, friends, for your help. So a friend at church said her mom uses whey and puts whey in the soil. So I made some yogurt, and I'm going to feed, especially those, to see if we can't get a turnaround and get nice and big and beautiful green as those are, and some bigger beans on them. Put some whey in the soil. Those turnips are looking nicely, thin them out. Okay, so these peas I didn't thin out. I wanted to experiment and see what would happen if I left these not so thinned out. Had a little right here that they can crawl, and then they should be able to crawl on other things when they get a little higher. So, and the arugula, and see, it's working. So companion planting, I want them, they are eating, those bugs are eating the arugula leaves beautifully so that they will stay away from my peas, hopefully. So that was the idea. Now, of course, we do want some arugula, but right now no flowers are up, so that's a good thing. A little bit. There we go. And then here I made my own trellis. Rigged up there's one of our bees now. Made our own trellis here so the peas can crawl. So I had twine in the kitchen. I didn't buy anything. I had these poles from previous trees I had bought, and so I was able to rig up a trellis using the twine, and then it goes all the way up here, so you can see it from the top. So I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see actually. And then I didn't have any more poles. I had 2 more poles, but I think I used them right there. So to stabilize, put poles right here to stabilize the other poles so they're not just hanging. But I had this material that was left over from something. I have no idea what. My husband had grabbed that and we were using it over here to extend the fence. So I decided, well, maybe that'll serve as a trellis. So little interesting here. I don't know if it'll work. I might have to, I can squish it together if it doesn't work apart like that. And we'll see how big, I'm not sure how big the peas or how far they'll go, but they're these peas are climbing. These peas need a little help. He's gonna go along the drip line. So yeah, you need a little help. There we go. So let's help you. Cute little peas. Now we have a storm coming. He's growing, and also they're growing. There were the itty bitties of this pot that I transplanted over here, so they have some time. And then I think we've got, oh nice. Yep. Planted something. That's not radish. That was not radish. That was something else. Let's see my. Yeah, I know. There's some radish in there. Okay, well we'll figure it out. There's 2 things in there, I think. So, that's why I made a little chart so I know, because all my little tags they kind of filtered off, and then you can see the catnip and mint and summer savory. Caraway here is just growing nicely. So, okay, so the poll is, I'm trying to look it up. So we also have tons of trumpet vines. Now, my question is, that I'm looking for is, can I take the trumpet vines and send the trumpet vines over these poles, and would that be nice to mix with my garden and make it a beautiful looking garden? Or will that compete with the vegetables that are vines that are going to grow up? So that is what I am thinking about. Do I let the trumpet vines come, or will they take over? I'm not quite sure on the answer to that. If you know the answer to that, please tell me. That would be great. So I'm going to keep looking to see if, and we'll see, or we'll just experiment and see what happens. There he is. There are the bees. Hi guys, good morning. You didn't even know. Yeah, good morning. We're gonna go get the bug, so I didn't even need the bug ban and they came up. Okay, so these are ready. My little seedlings over here are getting ready to go around the pecan tree out front. So I'm gonna make sure that they're big enough so I can identify them so I don't pull them as weeds out there. So we're waiting for that. There we go. There's the cilantro is up, and there's the parsley. Oh, good. So these things are coming along. What am I talking about is for mosquitoes, put Now Bug Ban Essential Oil Blend on. Now, there are bees in our area that travel. They're not our bees, and they are honeybees. There's a honeybee farm nearby, so they're probably coming from his farm, their farm. So they're not our bees, but they're visiting our garden, which is so nice because they're helping pollinate everything. So that is wonderful. And bees can, so there they are. I've got one. So if you're allergic to bees, I would not use this blend because they show up. But so we're just going back in every little flower and painting the flowers. Okay, we're gonna do that. Okay, headed to the other plant over here. There's one here. And just carefully go in there with a little brush. Okay, and then we'll come over here, find another one here, just like a little buzzing bee We're hoping that this will pollinate the plants. Those bees, I know they're here. They may or may not have been pollinating these. I don't know. We're going to find out. Some of them have already closed, so we'll find out if we get to cucumbers on the lower ones that were open before. And you can see there was some damage to the plants, but the new leaves are looking beautiful. So just beautiful. And let's see. We've got a bee. Where is he going? Where are you going, Buzzy little bee? Okay, not to the cucumber plants. And they may have been here. He's just flying around the garden. So, oh wait, the whey. All right, I've got the whey, made some yogurt, so I've got some whey. Let's see if this works. Now I don't want to burn roots, so I'm going to be careful to add it to the side of the pot. Also don't want any roots burnt. Okay, there's some nice whey in that pot. Okay, he got some whey. Not too close to the roots. Let's get some more whey. We'll see if this turns you around. That would be lovely. Let's put you just a little bit, your little itty bitties. Just a little bit, your little itty bitties. Okay, you're doing good, but you got something. Oh, there's some cute little flowers. Okay, let's give you a little bit away. Where am I gonna go? How about back here? All right, back there. We'll see what the whey does. Thank you for this tip. And we will try it. We'll try the whey trip. See if those plants, like these cucumbers, could probably use some. We have a little bit left. Okay, that is all the way. A teeny itsy bitty left. Let's go right here. Okay, day 50 of the garden. Things are looking beautiful. We're getting some edible pole beans out of the garden today. And yes, I could, even some of that arugula could get into salads, not the bug-eaten ones, but ones that are not eaten by bugs could. So very exciting, but we're going to leave it because we want our peas to be left alone at the moment. When the flowers grow up, we'll start trimming and eating that arugula, I think is going to be the plan. So, yay! All right, gardening on a budget. Got some interesting things going on here, and very excited that we'll have some pole beans on the table soon. So, very excited about that. And this part of the garden, I think it gets more shade. As summer comes, it's going to get actually more sun. So it'll be a little bit more sunny over here. So that'll probably start taking off a little later. And so here we go. Now we're going to put the tarp back up. We've got a rainstorm coming again. That's my husband said we need the tarp up. So I'm thankful that he's paying attention to how much is going to downpour, because we still have little seedlings that could get pretty demolished from a bad storm. So very nice to have that, and they'll still get some rainwater. And there's that little itty bitty. I'm going to put that in there because that's going to go in my plant food. All right, so last thing, the turnips that I planted, I thought they were goners on the transplant, but look, they popped up. Still have garlic in there too. Little turnips. They're popped up. Very excited. Alright, some of the paint came off the trees. They got splattered. Some did not. But we got the trees separated that were together. We had 2 apple trees that were together. This one and that one. They're nice and separated. Doing fine. Turnips. So we're going to have lots of little turnips. Not turnips, radishes, the radishes. So that's beautiful. Squirrels have been eating, the squirrels have been knocking off the fruit off the trees. So next season I will have to make a purchase, and that purchase is to cover and protect my fruit from the squirrels knocking off the fruit. They haven't gotten to this one, it doesn't look like, but they've gotten to one of my plants. This almond has not produced yet. I'm very excited. We're getting to where it may start producing. So our pecan tree started producing last year. We only got 2 nuts last year, so we're going to see what hopefully this year will be more fruitful. So he's continuing to do really well. He's really tall now, so he's going to go somewhere, and we're thinking about when come fall, this guy may go into the ground. All right, so that is our garden for today. I probably talked way too much, so we're going to cover that. All right, tarps up, ready for the storm. On the inside looks cool though. There you go, show you the inside. There you go, all ready. And the water, it's a holy tarp, so the water's gonna drip just perfectly inside. We don't know what kind of storm is coming. We don't know if it's just a windstorm or what. It says rain, but we're ready.